See the game, so you can commentate properly. It's probably a good idea. I think it's good. It's like it's kind of oh, I see.
Don't get flashy with it. Test one, test two. Test, 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 test. Yes, goal! Gets the run of play. Test, test, test. Say anything about the referees, I'll get in trouble. Again. Last time I sorry.
Well, that's it. I'll look up all that. You'd be happy. I find that. in the National Premier League. In the NPL competition today, round 11, 3 matches have been completed so far in the Sydney FC 2, drew with Wollongong Wolves 2, Manly United 1, went down to Apia Leichhardt 2, and this afternoon St George City 3 have defeated Sutherland Sharks 0. Police youth matches played here at Barton Park this afternoon against Sutherland Sharks. Under 13s, Sutherland Sharks 2 defeated St George FC 1. Under 14s, St George FC 2 drew with Sutherland Sharks 2. Under 15s, St George FC 3, Sutherland Sharks 1. Under 16s, St George FC 1, Sutherland Sharks 1. Under 18s, St George FC 5, Sutherland Sharks 1. Ladies and gentlemen, our teams for tonight's NPL round 11 match. St George FC. Number 3, Captain Troy Danaskos. Number 4, Mark Rodich. Number 5, Nick Calagero. Number 6, milestone match for Pat O'Shea. Number 8, Evangelo Suris. Number 10, Jake Casella. Number 14, Justice Boone. Number 15, prolific goal scorer May Antonio. Number 16, Kate Wright. And back after injury, number 99, Mackenzie Siren back in goals. And 27, Jason Cito. Substitutes, Javier Rodriguez, number 23. Number 13, Sunday Yano. Number 12, Thomas Dunn. Number 34, Kota Toyuka. Number 40, Hassan Kamarovic. And number 20, goalkeeper Daniel Oxford. That is the St George squad for tonight's match against Sydney United 58 FC. Sydney United FC, number 1, Tristan Prendergast, goalkeeper. Number 3, Bailey Rule. Number 4, the captain, Adrian Lasteriga. Number 9, Patrick Antelmi. Number 10, Carlos de Oliveira. Number 11, Matthew Hatch. Number 14, Liam McGing. Number 15, Tarek Mayer. Number 17, Michael Classic. Number 22, Stefan de Rebillio. And number 32, Leo Dennis. Substitutes. Number 8, Mario Fidel. Number 9, Adrian Milicevic. Number 13, Hassan Landra. Number 16, Anthony Trilich. 31, Joseph Orlovich. 37, Luke Zabila. They are the lineups, Sydney United FC 58 for tonight's match.
Between round 11, excuse me, I've got to check that one. Round 11 clash between St George and Sydney United. 8th versus 10th on the ladder. Both teams desperate for 3 points in games that they will surely believe they can take all 3 points in. Hello, mate. Do I get scores from other grounds? Oh, only by looking at the page. Oh, no, unless I... Yeah, they might do. My dribble doesn't work, so I've given up, but those are last week, 19th. Oh, no. That's today, so there's one. Other ones, no, you'd have to go on dribble and figure it out. I can go on if you go on like YouTube and just watch them all, yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. No, wait, sorry, mate. The technology is not super advanced. Bad, isn't it? morning to football fans around the world, in Australia and especially here in New South Wales. This is the National Premier League Men's Competition of New South Wales, live courtesy of Football New South Wales YouTube live stream. My name is Don Mazzuto, and it is a pleasure to be here with you from Barton Park, the all-important clash, round 11, between the St George Football Club and Sydney United. Two sides to the purgatory of 26 warfare, fighting it out to get closer and closer to the coveted top 4 position. Both have a great opportunity to claim 3 points here today against very, very even opponents on both sides. For St George, who sit in 8th, they've got some work to do, but they are going to be roared home by a packed crowd here at Barton Park in Banksia, right on the sands. Not sure how the geography lies here in south of Sydney. Whereas there's probably a way shown as well for the epic Sydney United. Both sides coming off a loss last week, and we'll be looking forward to potentially making amends and claiming victory here today on the Easter Saturday. Let's go through the two sides as they come out now and shake hands. Starting off with Sydney United away from home today. Tristan Pendergast once again in goal. Barry Rule at the back alongside Adrian Pastalika, Matthew Hatch and Tarek Meyer, in a host of changes in the back line, which has seen the likes of Mason Wells drop out of the side too, perhaps some taking a holiday over this Easter long weekend and into Anzac Day. Continuing through the midfield though, there is a more consistent lineup of Carlos de Oliveira, Liam McGing and Michael Glassick, alongside Stephen Di Rebellion, who comes in up top alongside Lee Roy Jennings and Patrick Antelmi. On the bench, Mario Chabal once again remains as the impact substitution. Alessandro Lacalandra is in at number 13. Anthony Phillips is 16. Aidan Milicevic is 19. 31 is Josip Olovic. 37 is Luke Zavella. And then we get to the home side, more consistent with in terms of the squad that came out last week and lost 3-2 to Blacktown. Captain Troy Danaskos is in there once again alongside Mark Rodish. Nicholas Kalagiriou is number 5, Pat Roche is 6, 8 is Evangelo Soris, David Casella, Justin Boone, goal scorer last week in the side again alongside 5, Antonio 15, Kylan Wright is 16, Jaden Cito 37 and 99.
The NSW Championship in 1983.
So I'll get to the bench.
Des spent 5 seasons with the club between 1981 and 1985, scoring over 100 goals. Des will be long remembered by the St George FC football family. Please observe a minute's silence.
Everyone listening to the call as the home side pays their respects to families close to them. The remaining players for the home side on the bench: Thomas Dunn, Sunday Yona, 13, 20 is Daniel Axford, 23 is Adrian Rodriguez, 34 is Kota Toyuka, and 40 is Hassan Ambarovic to round out the bench for St George. It's going to be a close one here. Both sides did have impressive wins only a couple of weeks ago, most notably, of course, for the home side. You've got a picture of the... It wasn't up here. Yeah, 2-1. Sorry, getting their best result. Over the junior Central Coast team. Both sides know how to win. The home side has won the win over the Central Coast Mariners. Probably the away side that got the themselves a couple of weeks earlier as well. It was against RP Leichhardt. 2-1. So here we are, underway. The away side off first. From left to right across your screens. The opening play goes straight out for a goal kick. So I bring that with Danaskos just going long. Forward. It's actually one of the few pitches here played on real grass, which is great to see. Uncommon in this competition. And it's not a bad ball forward, and it's going to be chased by Justin Moon, but a bit too much extras on it. It goes all the way through to Prendergast to goal. Touch by Villiers getting a start today, lifted off the bench, but on his way out of left wing. Saurus, Danaskos, venture across the field, starting at left back. Ferguson being a captain, that is not a good touch. Away with it in the end. Outside, concede a free kick. Pass getting pushed to the ground by Antonio. Go long out here. Find the outstretched leg of Jennings, but asking a lot of the winger placement today of Mason Wells, who's been under their funding light for the season. They pitched the pull back from a throw there and almost fashioned an opportunity. Didn't quite find the target. They do find themselves with the ball again. Prendergast forced to go long, and it's not a particularly good clearance by Antonio's offside. Had to play at it really, had to take the opportunity. He was well offside, he knew it as well, but instead of forcing, well, I should say allowing Sydney United to pinch the ball and play around him while he wasn't set was probably a better option than giving away the free kick. That's a really poor clearance again from Prendergast. That's two back-to-back. Perhaps he's not used to the grass. They managed to play it up the line with Steve Riviera, but Villiers is crunched in the tackle and doesn't win the throw. So excellent work there by the trailing tackle. The St George fullback. Nice interchange there from the home side. Then it got stuck underneath the foot of Nicholas Caligiero. Concedes the throw. Chased there by diminutive Jaden Casella. And now there's a bit of pushing and shoving, and now there's more shoving, and Caden Wright's in there as well. He had no reason to be. And already, you've not even had 5 minutes, and already the handbags are out. That's a sign to see today how important the 3 points are for both these sides. Then I don't know what is a better image of desperation than that. really a needless foul in the first place. The referee has managed to cool everyone's jets, which is great to see. They definitely need his strong presence in terms of officiating, and it won't be allowed to deteriorate today with Brodie Merchant in the middle. Lucy Hungerford and Daniel Druitt are the touchline officials as well, for those who are interested. Big header away from Rodich there, but it's picked up nicely initially by Classic, but once again the home side press well. Prendergast clearance again doesn't get 2 metres off the ground. Fortunately, it falls to Tarek Meyer. He's playing more centrally today. Here he is again. Tell me, loses out, but most bounces favourably for him. George come away through Caden Wright. He previously hadn't touched the ball and decided to get in a scuffle before he even did that. Now they come up wide to Danaskos. Looking for options. Has to back to Saurus. Danaskos again. Plays it down the line here to Antoniou. Gets a ball across. It's lovely weighted, and Casella was in the middle. But it was dealt with really nicely in the end at the back by Bailey Rule. And it needed to be. Wonderful clearance. Much better from the home side in their approach forward. It's a nice ball into path of right. Comes all the way out here now to O'Shea, but forced to wind it back a little bit here, the home side. Spurs into Danaskos. The ball bounces terribly, but lovely footwork, and then a lovely pass out wide, which should be kept in here by Wright. It is. Back into Antoniou. Gets it across, but it's just a bit too heavy, and it goes over the crossbar. But the interchange is nice by the home side as they stretch United from left to right there on that occasion. United as well will probably feel themselves the underdog in this one. As I mentioned, they are missing a few key players. Nice turn there from Telmi, and that's a nice ball forward. It's beautifully weighted, and the chase from Stephen D. Robilliard is on. He's got to there first. Back to Telmi, plays it forward, but in the end, the home side covered defensively. And play it out through their captain, Danaskos. Goes early to Antoniou, who's got plenty of space. No, it's actually Casella who takes it wider. Scott McGinn in company. Treats back to his fullback. Casella one-on-one here. Gets that ball across. It's anybody's, and it's just missed by Justin Poon, who was looking for a second goal in 2 weeks. In the end, I think it did take a deflection by a Sydney United defender. The follow-up shot wasn't taken. Instead, it was cleared away. So we have our first set piece of the afternoon. So evening at this point in time. Folks, it's that daylight savings that is affecting me. Well and truly into the night. They're not well and truly into this game, not even 10 minutes gone, and it's action-packed, nicely whipped in, and then dealt with acrobatically, but not particularly effective in terms of clearing the danger by Leroy Jennings. So they have a second corner in as many seconds. Here it comes in towards that 6-yard box. It's just too heavy. It will be kept in momentarily by Casella. Back out to Wright. Middles it. And then there's a snapshot there by the centre half, Kalagiru. George still have it as the away side failed to clear away. They just boss possession a little bit here now, the home side. Plenty of pace up top, which is really just crucifying the City United backline. This is nice here from the home side. They're passing it around beautifully. That's a nice ball into Casella. Still might break for him. But in the end, the combination of Stalika, Bailey Rule does the job. Actually, I think there might have even been Glasshock who was at the back doing his defensive duties. It's Liam McGing there at the back. Rule is here at right back today. He usually lines up. We'll have a free kick here. A promising position for City United. They haven't had much of the ball in the last few minutes, but tell me takes a kick into the wrist, it looked like. And the referee, Brody Merchant, has awarded a free kick. So what can City United conjure here? Ball's launched towards the back of the box. Oh, it's authentic, and it's almost an opportunity, and then down goes Liam McGing. I think he was offside. Yeah, surely I thought it was the right thing to do going down there. He was definitely clipped by goalkeeper Mackenzie Siren. He couldn't quite wrap his foot around it to put it in the back of the net. That's a bad ball there from, this time, Mackenzie Siren. I have no idea what's going on today with the keepers. They cannot, for the life of them, send the ball long on the money. Isn't tell me. Good strong run from him, looking for an opening. Finds the Oliveira! Oh, and just palmed away there by goalkeeper Siren. Didn't know much about it, but did enough to get it away from danger into the path of his centre half, who had only one thing on his mind, and that was to clear the ball well away. That's what they need to do more of, the away side. Get it into the feet of the players who are going to cause problems. This time the ball goes flying upfield. It's poorly dealt with, though, by Stalika. Tony, give it back to his comrade, but it was well and truly missed due to the slip. Run from out the back here. Love to see that. More exciting than a run from centre half. It was actually Evangelosaurus who had got the ball deep and decided to take a run. That's an awful pass, and it could punish the home side. It still could. It falls kindly for number 32, Leroy Jennings! And against the run of play, it is the away side that take the lead. 15 minutes gone here at Martin Park. It's an error, and that's how quickly it can come back to haunt you if you miss your passes. And St George find out exactly why. Leroy Jennings, who looked like he was running on a treadmill for the first few steps, but did really well to put the afterburners on afterwards and round Siren in goals with a lovely ball forward to touch it past him, and then wrapped it low and hard into the net to make it hard for the trailing defenders to keep it out. This game was certainly screaming for a goal, which was surely on the way. And in somewhat usual fashion, I should say, the ball was given away by the midfield, and the counter-attacking team punishes them. That's football for you in a nutshell, folks. St George 0, Sydney United 1. He's right now. Soros, Antonio, back to Soros. Find a way through, but it's not coming. That's another dangerous ball. That's a much better switch of play, but Rodic still has to go backwards. United buoyed by that opening goal. And have pressed well today. They haven't had much of the ball, but they've certainly done well in pressing, particularly when the home side tried to play out from the back. Bailey Rule's gotten caught out there. Antonio's pinched it off him. Tries to go around and does really well. Back into Casella. There's right! Advantage was played, so there will be no coming back for a free kick. Wright did everything right, except for just nestle it in underneath the crossbar. It was going towards that top corner. There was no chance that Prendergast was saving it had it crept inside. But it's always difficult to keep the ball down when you hit the ball with the outside of the foot. Pass is fortuitous, and Oliveira picks it up, tries to play the ball forward. George cover well defensively. Torres with a nice turn. Stella gives it away into Antelmi, and out it counters on again. Out wide to Jennings. Definitely in a more tricky spot to score from on this occasion. Goes around the covering centre half, Jaden Cito. Some calls for a free kick. Jennings made nothing of it. Oh, that's a ball giveaway. Jennings has a chance for a double. Still with him, looking for options. And tell me! And he's onside. Doesn't celebrate in dramatic fashion. But once again, it's a disaster class at the back for the home side. This time it's Rodic that gets the ball pinched off him. I think actually it was Anvagello Soros who was caught on the ball, coming deeper to get on the ball and get pinched in the end, getting it caught underneath his feet. And with just 20 minutes gone here at Barton Park, the home side now have all the work to do. And that's another poor giveaway. And here come the away side. Down that left flank. Here's Carlos de Oliveira, the poor touch. He then tries to play it back through into De Robiliad, but wasn't to be on this occasion. And they go long to Antonio, who can't win the head up. Bailey Rule. Goes long to Jennings. Naskos puts a touch on it. Might fall kindly here for the winger. It does. Chipped across a bit deep. At the back, it's De Oliveira looking for those options again. Billiard comes back to a wonderful strike by Tarek Meyer. But a equally incredible save by Mackenzie Siren. He's had some tough luck so far in this first half. But that one will be on his highlight reel for sure. And has kept his side in it. That could have been 3-0. That was flying towards the top corner. Danger not over yet. Hoisted high towards the back. Mastilika gets it down. Drops kindly for a volley by De Billiard, but he can't get it any closer to the goal. In the end, it bounces around and bobbles into the path of Mastilika, who does win the corner. So another one here for United. Can they make more of this? They've been clinical so far when the chances have come. Oliveira to take. Whips it in towards that back post again. Siren was up well. Seller wanted the ball, didn't get it. Cito goes wide and eventually through to Danaskos. Now here's right. Back to Saurus. Antonio. He's dropping a lot deeper now too. Try and just break down this well-set midfield of Sydney United. Goddard now. Back to Cito. Just be careful. Beats the press, but then gives the ball away. De Oliveira has Jennings, but decides to go wide here to De Billiard, who keeps it in and then wins the corner. Points so important today for both of these teams. I know I've stressed it enough in the opening stanza of this first 45 minutes. Put the smiles on both the sides' faces if they can come away a bit. Ball is hoisted in again towards Lastaleka, but can't reach it on this occasion. And they clear long. Casella comes and pinches the ball. Drops it into Danaskos. Lovely heel chop. Wanted the run of Casella, gets right involved instead, who brings it forward. Boone just has to reset. The ball here into Saurus, into Casella. Danaskos is wide of him. Ball is nicely weighted, but McGing is there. Pass there by the ball boy, actually. Bright future ahead of him. Blocked there by Danaskos and forced a emphatic clearance by Tarek Meyer. Jennings stuck in a corner. Does well to get it out and find and tell me. Now the ball is cleared well into the path of De Billiard. The ball has got some wicked spin on it. And even on the real turf here that we've got at Barton Park, it's still sped out of play. Saurus does well. Right down this left channel. Does well initially to go past the centre half McGing. And they kept it in as well. And Tell Me chases us down the line. Mackenzie Siren will keep it in. And then Cito will get the free kick as the Sydney United striker threw him to the ground WWE style in the foot race previously. Again by Diva Billiard. George keep coming. Still plenty of time to make amends here. It's one of the most difficult score lines to hold the 2-0. Don't know whether you want to press, keep going for those extra goals, or hold your nerve and try and see if you can see it out. It's very early days, obviously, for Sydney United to be thinking that way, but often you can get into a bit of a defensive lull and you lose a bit of forward momentum when you have to sit back and hold on to 2 goals. Certainly, however, use the counter to great effect. Here's Antonio trying to get involved. Tries to play the ball forward into the path of the run of Casella. Now face the goal, and then the back post is Poon! Well, just how easy was that for the home side to get back in it? They had been asking questions. They were worthy of a goal. Just comes to Casella. It's a hopeful shot across the face of goal. And the only player who was willing to react to it the most was Justin Poon. And he brings his side right back into the contest. Folks, we have got an absolute game on our hands here on Easter Saturday. 3 goals inside half an hour. What more could come of this? Where else would you rather be? I can't think of anywhere. Well, that's a poor giveaway. And now St George, with their tails up, can bring it forward. It's Antonio. Antonio still going. Antonio! Oh! And just like that, it's more inside 30 minutes. It's another poor giveaway that's resulted in a goal. At this time, it's St George who counter and brilliantly finished by their main man, by Antonio. Another goal this season for him. And we are now level, and they are well and truly back in this game. Are we on here for one of the highest scoreboards of the season, folks? Well, if we get another 30 minutes of that, we certainly will be. Defences at 6s and 7s at Barton Park this evening. Easter Saturday wants to see some goals. Lovely turn and move from Jennings. He's pulled back there from Saurus, and now there's more handbags. Referee Merchant is going to stop that immediately. What a terrible collapse here. This has been from the away side, who looked so strong. Just as I said, it's a tricky lead to hold. Don't just call me the Messiah, folks. It's not often that I correctly predict some fortunes. This time for the benefit of the home side. That's not a good giveaway. And now Wright will look to counter quickly. Saurus and Angelo get into a bit of a tangle, and then D'Oliveira goes in 2 fits on Cito, and this is a big moment in this contest. In the modern day, I hate to say it, but there's only one colour, and it's usually a top of the rainbow that you would see in an instant like this. This could well and truly flip the script completely. referee Brodie Merchant, in conversation with Lucy Huggerford, have a big call to make. He's going to that back pocket, which can usually mean only one thing, and it is a red card for Carlos de Oliveira, who overcommits and takes a huge early walk here at Barton Park. He's going to get some calls as he goes down the tunnel here. We should be filming that. And the fans here love it at Barton Park because their side have completely turned it around inside 5 minutes and now have the extra man advantage. It was somewhat fortuitous, you might say, because they'd played themselves into an absolute pickle once again, St George. And de Oliveira did not need to slide in like that whatsoever, but a rush of blood to the head has cost his team dearly, and now they will well and truly be resorting to playing on the counter. What an enthralling 6 minutes of football. You will not see more action in that space of time anywhere in the world. What a game we've got here. Easter Saturday delivers again. Wonderful weekend of sport usually at any level. Obviously, most people don't get to play it. If they play any lower than this level, my God, have they been able to win it. They almost give the ball away. St George, they do eventually, and now they can counter again here. Sydney United. What a story this would be if they could go in front. Tell me he's just in the box on his own. They get there, and the ball is just smashed by Matthew Hatch. Well and truly out of play. He's really not had much to do so far, the fullback. And that was an opportunity that is not taken well by the away side, and that's something that they'll need to be very opportunistic about moving forward. You would think they'll be few and far between. That being said, the home side's passing has been very inaccurate. Here comes Danaskos, who's got that space down on the wing now. Tries to play it into Casella, but easily read. Isn't tell me now. Just runs into trouble. Antonio picks it up and then wins a free kick. The away side are now going to have to really reset and keep their heads. They'll certainly feel in the back of their minds that they've been hard done by. I think anyone who watches this beautiful game knows that that sort of challenge by de Oliveira is only ever going to see a red card branded. Brodie Merchant really having no choice in the matter. Antonio into Danaskos. Pass is nicely weighted. It's chipped towards the back post. Despoon can't put it away. And it's cleared only momentarily for O'Shea. Still thinking about it, but then eventually is tackled by de Rebillard out for a throw. And I think a few fans here wanted to see a shot come in from the centre midfielder. Thought better of it on the first attempt. Tried to line himself up on the second, but he was crowded out. Here is Sito, which is good to see because he definitely took a strong challenge. Right, teaming up well there with Danaskos again. Comes back to his captain. Into Antonio, who got his side level only moments before with a wonderful solo goal. Great work from him. Across the face of goal. There's a few players waiting, but Stelica steps up and reads it well. And tell me, his touch lets him down. Still gets the bounce of the ball, though, into his teammate. Now here's Stephen de Rebillard. Goes around the first tackle. Gets it back to Antelmi. Has a go! Oh, and a great save there from Siren. It almost found its way in. This is insanity here at Barton Park. Casella putting the pressure on McGing, but he does well to clear away. And then with the combination of rule, they bring the ball forward. Now here's Meyer. Out wide to Hatch. United not pressing here. Sorry, not Sydney United, sorry. The St George. And United also not pressing with the ball. Waiting for the press to come. Here's Meyer. Well, they were in complete control. Sydney United. They have capitulated in dramatic fashion. We've still got a whole hour and a bit to go. Here's Hatch. Just to put the afterburners on to get out of trouble. Here's Rule now. Classic. Sweeping ball over to Hatch. He does well to keep it in control. Finds and tell me. Looking for options. Just be careful there, Rodic. Gets it across the face of goal, and tell me does, but there's no one at the back post. Ellie Rule now. Jennings. Playing better possession-based football with a player down than they were with a player here. Sydney United. Rule wide to Jennings now. He's made the run. Jennings gets it to him. Crosses in towards and tell me. Get it away strongly, but only as far as Glassick. Jennings can't find Rule. They look to play themselves long and out of danger. Casella does well initially, but McGing, Maldini-esque, just flicks the ball over the striker's head. It's long up to Antelmi. He does well to bring it down. Sito loses his man. Antelmi! Had a couple of good opportunities. Couldn't quite find the side of the net. Never know that, though, with the bounce of the ball on the real turf here. That could just fool Siren. He watched it with eagle-eyed vision. Claimed it easily in the end. However, after scoring an equaliser and seeing a player get sent off, the inside haven't really pushed on. Antonio out to Poon here. Play Poon down the line, Antonio, but I think that'll be given a free kick. It is. As Hatches wrestled to the ground. Pendergast goes long. Tommy does well to win the ball initially. Breaks to the home side, who to go back to Siren. Goes wide to Poon, who can't keep it in. Just 5 minutes remaining here at Barton Park in the first half. Can one of these sides push to take the lead. The ask is definitely of the home side to do that. The advantage that they have. Ascos chops back again. Antonio. Antonio goes with the cross to find Casella. Doesn't on this occasion. Boone just heads it forward. Casella goes down, holding his back. It's a nasty knock initially, but it'll be hard pressed to win a foul from that particular challenge. Ball forward was nicely weighted by Casella, but Ascos had other ideas. Sending the team forward. Seems to have dusted his kicking boots off. Tell me, nice work again from him. And then the Rebellion goes wide to Hatch. Hatch trying to get to that byline. Good stretch and speed by him, but can't go around the second defender. Meyer has to go backwards too. King. That's a nice ball to find Rule, who's got space here. Bailey Rule looking for options. And Telmies can't bring that down. It was not a great pass. Antonio tries to play Casella in, but the ball was too heavy. It was a difficult pass to make, that's for sure. Going longer. Tell me again, and he's won that header against Cito for the 5th time. His touch there let him down though. Olic goes sliding in, didn't need to. But that was a much more effective header there, won this time by O'Shea. Poon's just allowed to stroll forward. Poon gets it to Antonio. Back to Poon, who has a go. But it's high, wide, and not very handsome on this occasion from the St George goal scorer. Villiard loses the ball in a dangerous position. To Antonio, this ball is nicely weighted by Wright, but it's covered nicely by McGing. Saurus. This is Rodich now. It's a audacious attempt, to say the least, by Casella. Another goal kick, and I think the away side are just looking to wind the clock down and try and get to the sheds half time with the score level. Tell me, he was nudged in the back there. It's a bit of a foot race here between Poon and Hatch. Poon wins it. Ascos has made the run down the line. To resort back to Antonio. Poor giveaway there by O'Shea. We'll find here to Jennings, and Sito's got to get on his bike. Well won there by Hatch. And now, is there a late chance? And Telme's in the middle. Roddish comes back well, though, to deal with the danger. Then Wright hacks it clear, and they had a lot of time on his hands. It'll only be a few minutes at a time remaining, you would think. Maybe 2 or 3. There was obviously that lengthy period where De Oliveira was sent off. We'll add on a couple of minutes, and can't seem to find a ball now, so means we'll have maybe some more at a time. Late free kick here for the away side. And they'll throw the centre halves forward. Stelica and McGing, both very tall human beings. Very good in the air as well. Wouldn't this be a real interesting moment if they could find the ball in the back of the net? Glasslock gets it forward, and Selby with the flick. Can't quite get it. And then Poon heads it away. Back in by Dira Billiard. Ging can't win the next header. Sito stands up strong. Poon's touch is a letdown, though. And still with the away side. Here's Rule. Has a go. And Telme gets in the way of the shot. Still with Telme, looking for room. And Telme! Oh, and there it is! They do have the lead going into half-time! Would you believe it? Patrick and Telme is having an evening here on Easter Saturday. A resurrection of sorts, some might call it, in terms of form. He has been absolutely bossing the two centre-halves today, and he just couldn't be brought down. They gave him way too much time. And the veteran striker finishes brilliantly for a second time tonight here at Barton Park. And against the run of play and with a player down, Sydney United will surely head to the sheds with a lead. St George 2, Sydney United 3. There was a humongous roar for the away side when that one found its way into the bottom corner. Is there an answer still here for the home side? No, not on this occasion. Poon's cross is not at all accurate, and it will see us go to the sheds. Finally, what an enthralling, absurd half of football here at Barton Park, round 11 of the National Premier League men's competition here in New South Wales. Topsy-turvy as they come between two sides who are desperate to keep their top four hopes alive, even at this point in the season. It was a wonderful start by the away side, Sydney United, going ahead by 2-0, courtesy of goals by Leroy Jennings on the counter-attack, and then Patrick and Telme for his first of the afternoon, the evening I should say, for the second time today. Then it was St George's turn to fire back. Justin Poon tapping home a wonderful cross by Casella to just bring them back into the contest. And then only moments later by Antonio with a wonderful run and finish to level the contest just with half an hour played. And then disaster for the away side. Carlos de Oliveira sent off for an awful challenge on Jaden Sito. And from there you thought perhaps the collapse had really set it in for the away side, but St George didn't kick on. They didn't push. Sydney United settled into a wonderful formation with 10 players, and right at the death found a way through to take an unlikely lead here at Barton Park into the second half, 3-2. I need a breather. I think everyone else here needs a breather. Don't go anywhere, folks. This has got game of the season written all over it here tonight. 5 goals inside the first 45 minutes. What on earth has the next 45 got? Stay with us here for the second half, live from Barton Park.
Tonight, St George FC continues to showcase the future stars of our club. Our junior development program is all about nurturing young talent, building skills and fostering a love for the game. During half-time and the previous 2 home matches,
Welcome back here to Barton Park of the National Premier League Men's Competitions grounds for matchday 11 between St George and Sydney United. 3-2 at half-time as we're about to get underway here for the second period, with the away side up 3-2, even though they have a player down. A last-ditch strike by Patrick Antelmi, regaining the lead for his side after they took a 2-0 advantage inside the opening 15 minutes here. St George rallied well and even found themselves, as I mentioned, with an advantage when Carlos de Oliveira was shown his marching orders after a poor challenge on Jaden Cito. They didn't make it count whatsoever in the remaining minutes of that first half. And in fact, it was punishment for them for not doing so. As you can tell me, bagging a brace inside 45 minutes. Wright tries to keep that in. Would be a corner, it will be. They start hard and fast here, the home side. They know a goal early will do them a wonder of good. Casilla's over to take it. As for the away side, it's going to be back to the wall for the next 45, you would think. They go short to Soros, who just lobs it up towards Rubic. All the way back into Poon, who struck it well, but only into a white shirt. Casella, good switch of play to find Soros. We'll keep this in, at least for a throw. Not for his side, obviously. George bring it forward again. They go wide out to Danaskos again. It's not a great pass and allows them to bring it forward here. The away side, Jennings collides with Cito, who's been in the wars today. Jennings plays it forward. Cito has to go all the way back here to Siren, who's been left stranded today, one might say. Both the opening goals for for Sydney United, off the back of some pretty poor errors. Really didn't have much he could do about it. He did produce one wonderful save in the first half. And that is exactly why they are low on the scoreboard today. The home side, terrible pass again. Here they come, Sydney United. A second goal would be devastating if it was to find its way into the back of the net. On that occasion, it didn't. They do win a free kick, a needless foul given away by Wright. And now, Sydney United with a set piece. They have height in the box. This is how the third goal came about. Vlasic, Mastalika at the back post with McGing, the towering giant, in towards the penalty spot. It's come towards him, and then there's a couple of ping-ponging headers. Mastalika goes to the byline, gets to the cross. Well, dealt with at the near post there by Rubic, or given away by Antonio. And then a shot is deflected and will go out for a corner for Sydney United. Set pieces haven't been too crash hot today, but we've had a few of them now, so imagine that potentially they'll get it right eventually. They've afforded the opportunity. Here comes the outswinger towards that back post again. Lastalica rises highest, but was asked a lot of to be doing anything with it from there. Antonio gets the ball moving quickly. Switch of play is too long for Kalagiru. Both sides have come up with there's an aura of fatigue and tiredness. It was an intense first half, so it's understandable, but it was one of the worst throws you'll ever see. It was definitely a foul. Wasn't given. I must say, and I didn't realise this, there's actually been a substitution for the away side. I'll get it to you in a second as Jennings gets to the byline towards Tell Me, and he just overran it. Danger not over yet as it comes back to rule, but it is dealt with eventually by the press of Antonio. Just saying that Alessandro Lacalandra is now on. Hatch is onside. Will he keep this in? No, it will just go out. There was a substitution, and it was difficult to tell at the start of the first half because there was about 100 people on the field, and they didn't actually do it officially. He just ran on, the substitute midfielder. It looks like he's replaced Tariq Meyer. Sweeping ball out here to right. Antonio on the ball now. Comes back to Kalagiru. Ball into Casella. Doesn't hit the mark. And Prendergast will begin the banter by waiting for the ball to be pressed before picking the ball up. Glassock, lovely switching ball, finds Jennings. Nice pass into the path of Rule, but doesn't find him. And now Wright looks to counter. Tariq Meyer is still on, apologies. Rule to Jennings. Glassock is just safe and thumps it back to Prendergast, who just goes long to the opposing centre half. The replacement actually is Stephen D. Robilliard, who has come off. Nice run here from Poon. Just can't get through the third challenge. Shea covers well. Right into Antonio, who will look to storm forward. Good build-up play here by the home side, but the cross is poor from Danaskos. Time is just flying by here at Barton Park in the second half. Only 10 minutes gone. It's crazy to think. Going long again up to Tell Me. This time a header is beaten by a centre-half. Shea is fortunate to get away with that. Again, the passing for the home side has been schoolboy. As soon as they get it clicking, it's wonderful, but it's just been too erroneous through the middle. Now there's an opportunity to bring it forward. The pass doesn't go in front of Calagiru, so he has to go backwards. It's Antonio. Wide now to Danaskos. Players in the middle waiting for it. Brings it back out onto his right foot. Hutch just clears it away. Here's O'Shea. Into Casella on this occasion, who's dropping deep. Moss is played in by Antonio, but McGing's there to clear it away. We're going to see a lot of this in the second half. St George asking the questions, probing and crossing. And the defence of Sydney United just trying to parry it away. Saurus. Cito wide here to Antonio. One-on-one with Jennings. Ooh, and it fires it towards goal, and there was a few deep breaths as that one just stung the side netting. A few gasps that many believed it may have just crept in, but Prendergast seemed cool, calm, collected as it fired wide. Jennings wins the header well. Nuskos with a nice flick. Poon can't win it off Glassock. Advantage played. Lovely footwork there from Meyer. Here's Rule. Drops it to Jennings, but it slips underneath his heel. Just trying to hurry it up now, the home side. Build-up's been a little slow in the opening exchanges of this second half. Cito out to Danaskos, who now will look to bring it forward. Casella's waiting in the middle, but McGing well positioned again defensively. Here's O'Shea. Finds Casella. Nice to just whip it round the corner to Antonio. Still no way through for the home side. This roll there by Saurus into Danaskos. Here's O'Shea. That's right, sorry, lovely turn. Still going right. Antonio back to right, and the pass is just too heavy. That was very nice between both 15 and 16. With another goal kick, so a few of those already. Goes long again up towards Antelmi. Loses that again in the duel. Rule has to be careful. Hacks it clear in the end. Gets a little bit slow in terms of feeding the ball forward. There's Calagiru now. Saurus. Casella loses out, and now the ball is played into Jennings, and Antelmi is probably offside here. Flag is going to go up now. It was just a second too late. I tell you what, the home side will breathe a huge sigh of relief, because the pass needed to come just a second earlier. Here's Poon now. Danaskos. Back to Antonio. Oh, lovely ball into Casella. Players it, waiting for it in the middle. McGing almost producing something that was of an own goal. He gets away with it in the end. Ball forward was on. Meyer decides to just keep possession for a bit. Now Hatch has to go long. There's a Tell Me. Wonderful work again from the striker. Goes around Rubic and then cops a slap in the face for good measure and wins a free kick. He's had a monstrous game up top. And once again allows his side to just run down the clock. Second goal here will, I'd say fourth goal here will really be a killer. Second goal in terms of going 2 ahead is what I meant to say. Here comes that free kick now. Meyer whips it in towards the back post. Players are there. Drops kindly to Vlastilica. Oh, it's not far away. He got a hold of it. Just couldn't quite spiral it into the side netting. Wide now to Calagiru, back into Antonio. Tries to play it forward. Doesn't find the target. Once again, Meyer. Imperious in that centre midfield spot. Set out to Rule. Just goes long over the top. Jennings has got a chase here. It's not well dealt with initially. At the back there by Danaskos. Still with Jennings. Gets it into Antelmi. Antelmi surely not a hat-trick, but it's denied by the covering tackle of O'Shea. Tell you what, if the tall number 6 wasn't back there covering, he may have found a shot towards goal. Antelmi still going. Good run. Again here by the ever persistent running of Rule. Can't find a cross in the end. Antonio, poor touch, and Lacalandra has picked it up. But Antonio keeps going and does a really good job of pinching the ball back and in a promising position. Just kept running there, the star number 15. Lagiru now to Poon. O'Shea to Danaskos. Nice work here. Saurus, though, rushes the pass and puts it out of play. Pendergast again going long towards Antelmi. No one wins the first contest, and now we get some lackluster aerial ball football, and then it results in a free kick for St George for a coming together. Antonio wide to Danaskos. Cuts it back, still running centrally. Cuts again, finds Antonio. Good run there from the left back. Antonio across the face of goal and sliding in. Casella was there, but was a second too late, and Prendergast does well to get down low and smother the cross. We'll have a momentary pause for the keeper. And had to be brave to get down low there. Pass goes long. Don't tell me, heads it down well into Hatch, who will now take on Poon for pace. What a race that is. Galandra sweeps it wide towards Jennings, but the head is won well, and then Wright tries to win it again. And there's a coming together here between two players, and it's going to be a yellow card here for, it looks to be Wright. I don't think they're going to get red. It would be incredibly harsh. Both players had their feet very high in the air, and it was only a second delay between McGing winning the ball over Wright. The yellow card is in the hands of referee Brodie Merchant, so that's what's coming. Captain Pastelica not happy about the decision. We'll eventually see a yellow card. The card has been given. Ging is still down. Wright is just being tended to. Doesn't look like anyone's being prepared as a substitute. The card for Caden Wright. The clock is just slowly ticking away here for the home side. Substitute is being ready, it looks like. Looks like Sunday Yona's about to be introduced. But for the time being, Caden Wright is going to stay on the field, so it won't be him being replaced. Hatch needs to win this, and does. Comes to him kindly. Hatch! Oh, wonderful! And tell me! Oh, great cover from Cito. Referee gives the free kick. Cito goes to ground again. Hatch with a wonderful strike. Siren had really no answer to it other than to just get some sort of body part behind it. Didn't deal with it particularly well. In the end, his outstretched leg almost had to come in and prevent the ball from maybe spiraling into the back of the net. Here comes that substitution now, and Vangelo Saurus is off and Sunday Yona is on. An attacking change for the home side, who almost found themselves down by another goal. If it wasn't for the wonderful covering tackle of Jaden Cito, who's been in the wars today. Here's O'Shea. Nice turn from Antonio, but he can't get past Bailey Rule on that occasion. Right in the thick of things again. Casella manages to play his way at least out of trouble. Danaskos. Antonio to Yona. Strong run now from Rubic, who's looking for options. Tries to find a way through. Can't get past Maya. They go quick with the ball up to Antelmi. Sito's got work to do. Just does enough to see it away. And then win the free kick cleverly. A yellow card for Antelmi there. Interesting decision from the referee. I don't think there was much in that one. Cody Merchant has been very stringent with his card showing in the first half, and particularly in this half as well, but brandished a couple now. Just wants to settle it down a little bit. It's Boone now. Is right. Boone. Talangiru, nice weight across to O'Shea. Doesn't quite dip in time for him. Begast was momentarily worried. Well, I'm sorry to say, folks, if you're just joining, you missed all the action in the first half. 5 goals inside 45 minutes and a red card to boot. And in this second half, we haven't seen any goals in the first 25 minutes of it, which was probably to be expected. Meyer wins the ball. Still a look up, puts it forward into Laka. Andro, who tries to do the Ronaldinho control with his back, but there was no one in the vicinity to play off that particular skill. Whether he meant it or not, it still looked cool. Here's Poon. As I was saying, all the action has been in the first half. Antonio, so fun to watch. And that'll be a free kick for Sydney United. They're asking a question in terms of the cards being brandished. Now they'll waste some more time here. The away side, they'll throw it back to Prendergast to wait a few valuable seconds off the clock. That was never where the initial foul was awarded. That's about 10-15 metres back. We play on. Prendergast hoists it towards Antelmi. Does well to bring it down and wins a free kick in a very, very promising position. And I fancy the number 9 will stand over this and try and score what would be a coveted hat-trick here. Substitution is being readied now for the away side as well. It will probably come after this free kick. Looks like it's going to be maybe Aidan Milicevic. We'll find out shortly. Meyer standing over this as well. He went very close in the first half to scoring a wonderful goal. Siren stood over it bravely and saved well. It looks like he's going to take this one. No, he leaves it for Antelmi. Almost finds inside the post. It almost felt like time paused there for a moment. Siren really gave them that side of the goal to aim at. So we had a lot of ground to cover. I think he would have got there in the end. The power wasn't quite there. And it looks like Tarek Meyer is now going to come off. And his replacement is Aidan Milicevic. George now with 15 minutes to find an answer, at least to claim a point. Antonio out wide here to Casella. Casella looking to take on Hatch, doesn't want to take him off a pace. Antonio with I think initially a cross, changed to what might have been a shot, but it wasn't anywhere near the goal nor a attacking header. Prendergast is now going to test the referee Brody Merchant's patience as he slows down the play and tries to eat up some valuable seconds. The referee has gotten onto that early and said no thank you. Let's get on with it. Hazard to guess that he will probably end up with a card at some point. Tristan Prendergast. Calandra picks it up. There comes through here trying to tell me he's going to be offside. Cito covered brilliantly anyway. The last touch came to him when he was in an offside position. Antonio dropping deeper and deeper just to get on the ball. His equaliser seems a lifetime away now. Rule pinching it off Yona and then switching it back into the new substitute, Milicevic, who's got Lakalandra there, and it took too long to find him. And now the counter is on for Poon, who just lost his footing momentarily. And Vlastelica manages to cover instead. Why on earth Matthew Hatch was so far up the field on that play, I have no idea. And it almost was an awful mistake from him to counter. It's Caligiru now. Goes wide to Poon. Wants some runners. Goes back into O'Shea, who's right there, whose touch lets him down. They still have the ball here, though, the home side. Antonio chips it in, but Prendergast is there to read it and claim it easily. Glasuk wants the run of Jennings. It's a bit too heavy, though. And Cito will pick it up. 12 minutes remaining now. We are well and truly into the championship rounds. Definitely not lived up to the billing of the first half, the second 45, but there's still chance for a special moment here for either side. Well done from Patrick Antelmi, but still can't win the ball back for his side. Yona flicks it the wrong way. He had Casella to aim at, didn't go for him in the end. Decided to flick it back in to the run of maybe Poon, who wasn't there. Antonio can't get it past Milicevic, who's come on well. Lakalandra now gets the run going of Hatch, who gets a body in front of it. And I tell you what, it's still on play on here. And tell me, there it is! And he does have a very famous hat-trick here at Barton Park, and extends his side's lead out by another goal. Sydney United 4, St George 2. Matthew Hatch never gave up on the play. There were screams for a penalty kick as Cito made no attempt to clear the ball away, only take the player out. He didn't trust his pace versus the speed machine, which is Matthew Hatch. But the fullback got up, played it back into his strike partner, who finished right into the bottom corner across the goal of Mackenzie Siren. No chance for the man with the gloves. And with 10 minutes to go here in this round 11 clash, Sydney United 58 lead 4 goals to 2. Yona has switched across. That's a free kick, surely. No, referee says that the ball was won. Throw in for the home side, who now have a lot of work to do. Did say that that moment was available for either side to take, and it is the away side who have taken it. It did feel like from the very first moment the whistle was blown here and the first goal that they scored that it was going to be their day. They've done it the hard way, but they are now once again in pole position to take 3 points. But can St George do it again and score twice? Mr. Prendergast again taking his time with this free kick. And we finally get the free kick taken. It's about a 90-second free kick. Very shocked as to why it wasn't sped up. Sydney United have looked imperious with 10 players. It definitely didn't feel like that was going to be the case. It was an almighty collapse to even find themselves trailing by, so I should say, conceding the 2 goals after going in front. And then to boot, the red card from De Oliveira was really the writing on the wall, most would seem. And the ball forward isn't brought down by Calagiru. It was not the easiest of passes to control. There was a substitution in that period as well. It was the goal going off. Javier Rodriguez was subbed on for the home side, and off went not Pat O'Shea, but to be the fullback in Troy Danaskos. Oh, no, Troy Danaskos has gone up top, sorry. Well, won again there by Glassick. Played forward to Yona, who's got that pace to keep it in. Does so initially, but then falls out of play. Looks like it was Caden Wright who was taken off, number 16, in place for Javier Rodriguez, so it's 23 for 16. Caden Wright probably taken off because he was getting a little bit fiery with the referee. He played a really good game. Most of the attack was going through him. Mr. Leaker goes long out to Jennings. His header is good. It's into the 18-yard box. Rodriguez just tries to dink it up to Danaskos, who does well to get it down. Antonio still trying to find a way forward. Still going. Still has the ball back. Still with him, and then Yona gets out of his way and doesn't. Antonio The ball's like a magnet to him. It just keeps going towards him, even if his touch is poor. It's quite incredible to watch. The only thing that stopped him was his own teammate on that occasion. Here's O'Shea. 5 minutes to go of regular time here at Barton Park. Poon had no chance. Jennings, great run, gets it to Antelmi, lays it off nicely to Milisevic, into the path of Antelmi. Could he score 4 perhaps? What a story that would be. Antelmi still going. Antelmi! Oh, I tell you what, he wasn't far away. Just couldn't quite find the far corner. Danaskos. That's a poor giveaway. That's really been the Achilles heel today for the home side. They have been poor on the ball. Simple passes have gone astray. That's how they conceded the first 2. And it's afforded them no opportunities moving forward in this second half as well. Here's Yona, who just falls over his own feet. And now Hatch can bring it forward and then win the throw. He's had a wonderful second half, Matthew Hatch. Quieter in the second half as we have a pause in time here. Javier Rodriguez getting us talking to by Merchant. He's only been on for 2 minutes, so I have no idea what that could be about. Long throw. Doesn't go past Alagira. Now it's Milisevic bringing it forward. Goes wide to Jennings. Could this be 5? There's Antelmi! Oh, wonderful save by Siren. I think he was offside anyway because the flag went up, so we can all call our jets on this occasion. Now Poon. It needs to be now for the home side. Reaching ball over to Poon again. It's headed away by Rule out for a corner. They'll take that here, the home side. But they need to make this count. And anything is possible. If anyone watched any of the midweek Champions League and Europa League games, goals can be scored in the last minutes. Will that happen here at Barton Park? Here comes the corner. Towards the back post. There's plenty of shirts being pulled. But it's just cleared away safely by Glasuk. Here's Poon now. To Rodriguez. Antonio given an awful ball by O'Shea to bring down. That's a bit better, and now he can bring it forward. Shot is taken, and it's almost found its way into the far corner with the deflection, only for it to just skip past the far post in the end. Out for a corner. Wanted to be taken here again from Castella. We're going to have a pause momentarily because there is, I don't think, maybe a total of 4 players not inside the 6-yard box for this one. All the home side need is a touch on this and it'll go in, you would think. It's whipped in. There's players there. There's Yona who's just missed the header completely. Oh, and it was there to be taken. Sunday Yona couldn't quite find a finishing touch. He was the only player in a red shirt that wanted a piece of it. But he couldn't find that piece. And that, you would think, would be surely all she wrote as a substitute is made here for the away side. Leroy Jennings with a superb 90 minutes of football here today at Barton Park, scoring a goal and being an ever-present threat up top. He's replaced by Anthony Krilich. Is Rodriguez to Calagiru. Across here to Poon. Brings it down, but can't get past Rule. Sydney United still working so hard. Even down by an extra player. We're going to have a pause here because there's a bit of a head collision. Referee rushing the medical staff on. This will just potentially give the home side an opportunity to maybe still grab a late goal here with some time added on. Not as long as a stoppage as it looked from first sight. Galandra into Antelmi, flicks it on. Milicevic is looking to get there, but a telling touch away by O'Shea is enough to get rid of the danger. Glasshock into the path of Casella, who's got pace, but that's the Likas there. Referee says, please throw it from the correct spot. Here's Antonio now. Goal here would make it a very interesting last minute, but they need it now. But that cross will not be it from Rodriguez, and it will be a goal kick for Prendergast to take at a glacial pace. And it will be a late substitution. It is the hat-trick hero, Patrick Antelmi, who gets a round of applause here. On for Mario Chabal, who gets a tiny run here to just see out the game. Probably would have been injected earlier had it not been the way it had been the tail of the tape. Here's Poon. Still the referee. Brodie Merchant has the whistle away from his mouth. Haven't decided to send it forward just yet. Poon into Danaskos to Poon, who's got that pace, but it's McGing who's there to clear it away. Don't know if the home side have got a long throw in them. So they have to go with the short one. Still haven't played the ball into the box. Something they haven't really had all day is an out ball. Antonio to Poon. Antonio still going. Antonio getting to that byline. Ball comes across the face of goal and goes out for a corner. So another late opportunity here to get one back. They look to go short. I have no idea why on this occasion. This would surely be it, you would think. It's whipped in, but only into the path of Prendergast, who falls to the ground for one last time here at Barton Park on a wonderful Easter Saturday for his side, Sydney United, who have stolen a victory here on the road in the most unlikely of fashions. It was a topsy-turvy affair between two sides who are very even, and they did it the hard way, but they did it in the end. winning 4-2. It was a barnstorming first half, which I explained in detail at the top of the second half. Goals to Leroy Jennings and Patrick and Telmy set the away side on their way to what looked like was going to be a comfortable, cruisy 90 minutes for them, until the home side had other ideas, bouncing back through goals via Justin Poon and by Antonio. And then, as I said before, it looked like it was completely switching the pendulum when Carlos de Oliveira was sent off for a dreadful two-footed challenge. But Patrick and Telmy had other ideas, scoring a late first half goal to see his side go to the sheds, 3-2 leaders, and then they saw it out in the next 45 with a complete shutout of the opposition, and was topped off with a beautiful cherry on top, which was a hat-trick to Patrick and Telmy, getting his third late into the second half. There was no real chances that afforded the home side in the end, and they'll go back to the drawing board. That fires the away side up into the top 8, and they will be very happy with that, and surely will use it as motivation to finish the season strongly as they go through a tricky middle part of the competition. It's been a pleasure calling this one. It's been an emphatic contest, and it's been a pleasure once again to bring it to your ears and your visions. Enjoy your weekend of football. Enjoy your long Easter weekends. I'm sure you will. I know I will. And if they are any plans that are as exciting as this match that you've just seen, I'm sure you're in for an absolute fantastic weekend. Full time here at Barton Park. Sydney United 4, St George Football Club 2.